Stop scrolling. This might be the most important message you hear today. I'm Tony Robbins, and I want to talk to you about something that's quietly destroying dreams, killing ambition, and suffocating your potential, your comfort zone. It's invisible, it's seductive, and it convinces you that you're safe when in reality, it's holding you prisoner. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you trade your destiny for a moment of ease. But you weren't born for average. You were born to live big, to take risks, to create meaning. Today, I want to wake up that fire inside you, the one that refuses to settle. Let's break free. Growth only begins where comfort ends. That's the raw truth most people avoid. You can't transform your life while clinging to what's familiar. The comfort zone is seductive because it gives you the illusion of safety, but it's the silent killer of dreams. Every extraordinary result you've ever admired came from someone who dared to step into discomfort. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when you're stretched, challenged, and uncertain. When you're uncomfortable, your mind expands, your creativity awakens, and your spirit strengthens. Most people spend their lives chasing comfort, a safe job, predictable days, familiar routines, and they wonder why they feel stuck. Comfort gives you peace, but growth gives you power. Every time you resist discomfort, you reject your own evolution. The moment you lean into the things that scare you, the conversation you avoid, the risk you fear, the dream that seems too big, that's the moment life opens up. The edge of your comfort zone is the entrance to your greatness. Every major breakthrough in your life will require a step into uncertainty. You must be willing to feel fear and move anyway. Discomfort is not punishment, it's preparation. Every successful person learned to associate pain with progress and comfort with stagnation. If you can embrace struggle, you'll build resilience. If you avoid it, you'll stay ordinary. Growth doesn't come from knowing, it comes from doing. So the next time you feel resistance, don't run. Recognize that feeling as your sign that you're exactly where you need to be. The greatest version of you is waiting beyond what feels safe. Fear is your greatest teacher. It's not your enemy, it's your compass. Every time you feel fear, life is trying to show you where your next level lies. The problem is most people interpret fear as a stop sign. They freeze, they back down, they delay. But fear is energy. It's power. And if you learn to harness it, it becomes fuel. The truth is, fear and excitement are made of the same physical sensations. The difference is your interpretation. When you feel fear, it means you're stepping into something meaningful, something that matters. Don't run from it, move toward it. The unknown is where growth happens, and fear guards that door. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite it. Every time you confront your fear, you take back your power. You start teaching your brain that you are stronger than your emotions. Fear is a signal not to stop, but to wake up. It's the universe saying, pay attention. There's something big here. When you avoid fear, your life shrinks. When you face it, your world expands. The people who change the world are not fearless. They are simply unwilling to let fear make their decisions. The goal is not to eliminate fear, but to dance with it, to let it sharpen your focus, to use it as a guide. Every new level of your life will require a new version of you. And fear will always be there to test your commitment. Don't fight it, follow it. On the other side of fear is freedom, and freedom only belongs to those who step through. Every day you delay your dreams, you're reinforcing a story that says you're not ready. But here's the truth, readiness is an illusion. No one ever feels ready before they do something life-changing. Growth happens through action, not preparation. You can plan forever, but if you never step, nothing shifts. People wait for confidence before they act, not realizing confidence is built by acting. Action is the catalyst that transforms uncertainty into clarity. You can't think your way into change. You must move your way into it. Every bold decision starts with one uncomfortable step. Waiting for the perfect time is how most people bury their dreams. The conditions will never be ideal. You have to create momentum in the middle of chaos. Momentum builds magic. Once you move, fear begins to fade and strength starts to rise. You start realizing that progress, not perfection, is what changes your life. Every step forward compounds. Even small imperfect action creates energy. The moment you move, the universe responds. Life rewards boldness. When you decide to act even when you're scared, you begin to trust yourself on a deeper level. Action turns dreams into reality because it aligns intention with energy. You start becoming the kind of person who makes things happen rather than waiting for them. You realize you are the cause, not the effect. Every successful person started with uncertainty. The difference is they didn't stop. They acted before they were ready, and that action created the clarity they needed. Stop analyzing. Start executing, because hesitation kills dreams faster than failure ever could. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. Motivation might start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning when life gets hard. You can't rely on feeling good to take action. Feelings are temporary, but standards are permanent. Discipline is the art of following through on your commitments long after the excitement fades. It's about deciding once and reinforcing that decision every single day. When you train your mind to do what's necessary, not just what's comfortable, you become unstoppable. Success isn't built in grand moments. It's created in the daily grind, in the decisions no one sees. The difference between average and extraordinary lies in consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a moment. Few can be disciplined for a lifetime. Discipline builds identity. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, powerful, and trustworthy. You start becoming the kind of person who can rely on themselves, and that's true freedom. Discipline isn't restriction, it's liberation. It frees you from the control of your impulses, your doubts, and your excuses. When you master discipline, you don't wait for the right mood, you create it. You stop negotiating with your limits. You stop giving energy to procrastination. Discipline is the ultimate self-respect, doing what needs to be done because you know your vision deserves it. Every champion, every leader, every world changer has one thing in common: relentless discipline. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. When you build discipline, you build destiny. Fear is not your enemy, it's your compass. The very thing you fear most often points toward your next level of growth. Most people run from fear, not realizing it's the signal that you're about to evolve. If something scares you, it's because it challenges your comfort zone, and every meaningful transformation lies just beyond that boundary. Fear shows up when you're stretching into the unknown, when you're stepping into territory that requires more from you than before. The goal is not to eliminate fear, but to move with it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something greater than fear matters more. When you stop waiting to feel fearless and start acting despite the fear, you reclaim your power. Fear loses control when you step toward it. You begin to realize that fear is just energy, and when you redirect that energy into action, it becomes fuel. Every time you do what scares you, you expand your capacity. What once felt impossible becomes normal, and that's how growth happens. You start trusting that you can handle uncertainty. The truth is, the greatest regrets come not from the risks you took, but from the chances you avoided. Growth demands discomfort. If your dreams don't scare you, they're too small. Embrace fear as your teacher. Let it remind you that you're alive, that you're playing a bigger game. Fear is proof you're on the path of transformation. Walk through it, and on the other side, you'll find freedom. Comfort is seductive, but it's a trap. It promises safety while stealing your potential. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. It's where people settle for good enough instead of reaching for greatness. You can't create an extraordinary life while clinging to ordinary habits. Growth requires disruption. It demands that you challenge your routines, your beliefs, your limits. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you reinforce stagnation. You tell your mind, this is as far as I go. But when you push past comfort, you awaken a different part of yourself, the part that's hungry, alive, and capable of more than you ever imagined. Discomfort is not punishment. It's preparation. It's shaping you into someone who can handle the weight of success. The gym of life builds strength through resistance. Every obstacle, every challenge, every moment of struggle is sculpting your resilience. You can't expand without tension. The people who thrive are those who choose growth over ease. They understand that comfort never created leaders, innovators, or world changers. It's the willingness to endure short-term pain for long-term fulfillment that separates the great from the average. Break free from the illusion of comfort. Seek the edge where fear meets opportunity. Because in that space, you'll find your power. Growth doesn't come from staying where it's easy. It comes from daring to enter where it's uncertain. The life you want will never meet you in comfort. It waits for you in courage. Most people underestimate the power of consistent small actions. They wait for the perfect moment, a big break, a lucky chance, or a dramatic turning point. But life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards momentum. Success isn't built overnight. It's constructed brick by brick through choices made daily. The difference between those who transform their lives and those who stay stuck is commitment to progress. You don't need massive leaps. You need relentless steps. Every single day, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do that moves me closer to my goal? That's how momentum is born. Every action compounds. You go to the gym once, nothing changes. You go every day, your body transforms. You read one page, no shift. You read daily. Your mindset evolves. Life doesn't respond to occasional effort. It responds to consistent energy. Most people fail not because they lack vision, but because they lack follow through. Discipline creates freedom. When you do the small things even when no one's watching, you train your brain to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your standards. Set standards so high that mediocrity becomes uncomfortable. Build habits that align with your vision, and momentum will carry you through doubt, fatigue, and fear. The compounding effect of consistency is invisible at first. But one day, it explodes into results everyone else calls overnight success. The truth, there's nothing overnight about it. It's the power of staying in the game every single day. Life will test your commitment to your dream. Every challenge, every delay, every obstacle is a question. How badly do you want it? Most people quit when it gets uncomfortable. But growth doesn't come to those who stop when it's hard. It comes to those who keep moving through resistance. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the pathway. It's the universe's way of stripping away the parts of you that can't carry your next level. When things get tough, that's when you discover who you truly are. You're not shaped by easy days. You're forged in the moments you wanted to quit but didn't. Every struggle you endure is building emotional muscle. You can't strengthen what you avoid. You can't claim power without walking through pressure. When you feel like giving up, remember that's the exact moment most people stop. And if you push one step further, you separate yourself from the crowd. Resilience isn't built in comfort, it's built in fire. Every time you fall and get back up, you teach your mind that failure isn't final. You become battle-tested, unshakable. Success doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most relentless. When you face pain, don't shrink from it. Lean into it. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? The discomfort you feel today is the strength you'll stand on tomorrow. Your dream requires a version of you that's stronger, tougher, and more disciplined. And life is preparing you to meet that version through the grind. Fear is the silent killer of dreams. It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as I'm just waiting for the right time. But behind every hesitation is a story you've told yourself, a story that says you're not ready, not enough, not capable. That story is a lie. Fear's only power is the one you give it. The moment you face it, it shrinks. The truth is, courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means acting in spite of it. Every breakthrough in your life will require you to step into uncertainty, to take a risk without knowing the outcome. You can't grow while staying comfortable. Growth requires exposure, vulnerability, and the willingness to be seen failing forward. Most people spend their entire lives running from discomfort, not realizing that everything they want, success, love, fulfillment, exists on the other side of it. You must decide that fear will no longer control your destiny. Replace what if I fail with what if I fly. Every great achiever you admire felt fear, but they chose movement over paralysis. When you step into your fear, it loses its grip. You realize that the monster you imagined was never real. It was a projection of your doubts. Train your mind to associate fear with opportunity. When you feel it, that's your compass pointing toward growth. Fear means you're expanding. Lean in, breathe, and move forward anyway. Because if you wait for fear to disappear, you'll wait forever. You build confidence not by avoiding fear, but by confronting it repeatedly until it becomes familiar. The key is to act before you feel ready, to trust the process more than your emotions. Every time you walk through fear, you claim a new level of freedom. But none of this matters without clarity. Clarity is power. Most people drift through life reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. They don't know what they truly want, and if you don't define your destination, any road will take you there. You can have all the drive, energy, and intelligence in the world, but without a clear vision, you're running fast in circles. You need to decide what success means to you. Not your parents, not society, not your peers, you. Because when you know your why, every challenge becomes bearable. The mind needs a target. When you define it, your brain starts filtering reality to find opportunities aligned with your purpose. That's how focus works. It amplifies what you give energy to. If you focus on fear, you'll find reasons to stop. If you focus on purpose, you'll find paths forward. Sit down and design your vision in vivid detail, not vague goals, but a crystal clear picture of who you want to become, what you want to contribute, and how you want to feel every day. Clarity gives direction to discipline. Without it, you chase distractions, comparing yourself to others, never feeling enough. But once your vision is locked in, you stop reacting and start creating. The noise fades and your energy aligns. You no longer wake up hoping for motivation. You wake up with mission. And when purpose fuels your actions, you become unstoppable. You are the creator of your own state. Every emotion you feel, whether it's power, peace, or pain, comes from within you. Most people let their environment dictate how they feel. If things go well, they're happy. If things go wrong, they collapse. That's a powerless way to live. The truth is, you can shift your state instantly through focus, through language, through movement. Your body's your emotional anchor. The way you breathe, stand, and move sends signals to your brain. You can't be depressed if you move with certainty, with energy, with intention. Stand tall, breathe deeply, speak with strength, and your physiology will reprogram your psychology. The fastest way to change your life is to change your state, because from a powerful state, you make powerful choices. You act instead of hesitate. You create instead of complain. You build momentum instead of waiting for motivation. You don't need to wait for inspiration to strike. You generate it by the way you show up every day. Winners aren't lucky. They've learned to master their emotional state so that no matter what happens,